Hi everyone. So I received an intuitive download last night from the collective and it was pretty heavy, it was pretty powerful, and I really felt called to share it with all of you. As always, I'd like to state that I'm not here to tell you I'm wrong or right. I'm merely here to speak my truth. So take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. But there has been a series of interesting downloads that have been trickling in. And last night at 11 o'clock at night when I was about to go to bed, I received the mother load of it in understanding the overall perspective of what's about to happen moving forward. I've touched on this earlier in the year and again a couple months ago on understanding the energetic portal we're in right now, this window of timeline where things have really slowed down for all of us to do a lot of that reflection work, to start addressing the healing that is needed at this time and contributing to the collective as a whole. And as we close the lion portal, which so many of you have heard about, and we begin closing the portal of which this timeline I have mentioned previous times, things are going to start really speeding up. We really literally slowed down the last couple months, and as things slowly started shifting, many of us have maybe derailed a little bit in feeling like the storm was very calm so we can relax a little bit. But I just want to convey that towards mid-August through September is when things are really going to start to rev up again for all of us. And these shifts are really important. These shifts are really powerful and impactful with the collective energy because we are deconstructing these societal structures, these structures within humanity that are not serving for our highest interests. And we've witnessed this. We've had three major huge impactful witnesses of these structures that were not suiting us. First the virus, the social injustice, and now our children. And it's just as powerful as they were in that moment how quickly they kind of dissipated, and it's important that we are still actively addressing them and really actively addressing ourselves at this time. And the metaphoric understanding I received from the collective last night was quite interesting. It was actually the imagery of Moses splitting the Red Sea and witnessing that split in our opportunity to cross over to safer lands, to better lands, fulfilling lands. And as you know, the split had to return to itself, and that split is going to become returning to itself over the next couple weeks. And with that being said, in our awareness of not, for those of you who are not fully crossed over, that are still in the process of crossing over, witnessing the returning of the tide, metaphorically speaking, can be very unsettling. Being uncertain what's going to happen, am I going to make it over? And this can be applied to different degrees and understandings. But as we move into September, I want you all to be prepared that things are going to get a little bumpy again. And it's now more pivotal than ever that we are anchoring into ourselves and truly understanding what it is to be our own advocates. We truly know what it is we need on a soul level. It's just a matter of us taking the time to really look within. So now this is being progressive. What is best for me? What am I needing at this time? How am I being very mindful in where my energy is being put out? And I really wanted to share this with all of you, especially my light workers and my healers and my guides, my activators. As the tide is returning, metaphorically speaking, it is more important than ever that you are very grounded in yourself, in your capacity at this time, because for those who don't do this type of work, that are in the process of conscious evolution, as the tides return back, they are going to be looking for that assistance. And for us, with that responsibility as light workers, healers, activists, activators, guides, we need to be in an anchored place a balanced place to be of support and assistance to those who need it. And if we are not actively doing that at this time over the next couple weeks, we really are not of any use to anyone. And like I said, the storm has really calmed down. So for many of us, we might have been swept away with just trying to get our life back in order, and maybe have been bypassing the spiritual and energetic growth that is needed right now, the energetic grounding that is really important for us right now. And if you have been putting it off or been derailed or bypassing it, I really encourage you over the next couple weeks to be very active and mindful of doing that. Get grounded, because things are gonna get crazy. And it's not to scare anyone, it's just a matter of like, when these shifts start happening again, we have to be able to come from a place of clarity and groundedness. Otherwise, our minds will get the best of us. It's all about perspective. The tarot card that I really like to touch on is the Towers. And this is such a big emphasis on this shift that we're going to be going through the next couple weeks, is the Towers. As these societal structures begin breaking down, these political structures begin breaking down that have been in place for many, many years with not the appropriate integrity, they will become crumbling. They will begin crumbling. And for many of us, when we witness change, it can be very unsettling. It can be very scary. For many of us who don't have that elevated awareness and perspective, it can really be scary. It can be groundbreaking. And it is all perspective though. When we can understand, or we can support people in understanding that this crumbling needs to happen in order to rebuild in a better way, in a brighter way, in a healthier way that's going to be beneficial for all of us, then the perspective can be changed. It can be shifted. We can understand that it's happening with a purpose to make room for the new. This is about going into the new paradigm. I've talked about this several times, and many of you have probably heard that terminology, new paradigm. This new era of time, the golden age, where we are going to be in harmony, we are going to be in balance, ideally. So I hope this is resonating with all of you. This is not, again, to scare you, but this is just the prophetic awareness I've received in the downloads. And it's the most bizarre thing, because when I receive these downloads, it's never in an expected time. It's either when I'm in the middle of doing something, like on a walk or a run where I don't have a pen and piece of paper, or 11 o'clock at night when I'm trying to go to sleep. So I literally was receiving it last night, trying to grab my phone frantically to write it all down, because I didn't want to forget anything to share this with all of you. So I hope this resonates with you all. I hope that it activates something within all of you. For those of you who are not doing light work, who are just, a soul having the human experience, but especially for those of you who do understand you have a light working purpose, an activator purpose, a healer purpose in this lifetime, because now more than ever, you all need to be stepping into your light. And what that means is really grounding into yourself at this time, so that you can be a clear conduit, so you can be that anchor that people are needing as we move forward through these volatile times.